Phase 2, Program 2, Workout A. We're going to begin with USB power cleans. Now, with the USB power cleans, the first focus for the week is going to be gunslingers. Now, when we think of gunslingers, I just want us to think about hands to hip, hands to shoulders. So I want to think as if I'm drawing guns out, quick draw, quick draw, quick draw. So the other cue is going to be elbows back and under. So I want to think, as I'm going through my gunslingers, my elbows go back, then they're going to go under where the bag will be. So to give you an example of how that would look like is to begin with the USB power clean, start from that hinge, we're going to go into that low to high pull, gunslingers, and then those elbows go back and under. So I drop, I high pull, gunslingers, and drop. So again, I want to think as if my elbows are pulling back and going under the bag when I go through that clean. Drop it below the knee, clean it, drop it. Next, we're going to go into the Pallof press. So with the Pallof press, we're starting in a tall kneeling position. Make sure your toes are into the ground, your butt is tight, your ribs are tucked. From here, you're going to inhale through the nose, press the band out slowly as you breathe out through the straw. Lastly, a half kneeling T-spine rotation. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into a half kneeling position. Opposite hand goes into the knee. Hand is forward. I'm going to stretch as far as I can, bringing it back. So I'm feeling a stretch throughout the front of the hip and the upper back. So we want to make sure that the first week we're going to be focusing on keeping the knee stable, and that's by keeping the hand onto the knee. We want to turn through that upper back as you're going into this rotation. And lastly, we want to make sure that you're keeping your shoulder down as you rotate. For the squat focus, it's going to be eccentric. We're going to be doing a 4-second countdown. We all know how to squat, so it just depends on the variation that you're using. For the sake of demonstration, goblet squat, we're going to go into that eccentric 1, 2, 3, 4, drive up. Next, we're going to move into 3-point rows. It's still going to be eccentric. So as you get yourself into this position, make sure your chest is up. You're into that hinge position. Pull the bell, slow and controlled down. Pull the bell, slow and controlled down at that 4 count. Next, we're going to be going into our open book rotations. Stack that knee on top of the roller. Bottom hand pins the knee down. From this position, my palm starts down. I start rotating that arm up. As I start turning with my upper back, my palm goes up. My hand will end in line with my chest. Then I'm going to rotate it back. So, starting from this top position, I pin my knee down. I start rotating, keeping my hand as low to the ground as I can, then bringing it back up. So again, keep in mind that some members may have mobility issues with this. If they're having pain, have them just do a regular open book with the roller. If they're having limited range of motion through it, just do their best to keep their hand up or down when they're going through their rotation. Lateral RDLs with the kettlebell, we're going to be taking a step to the side, bend the knee, reach those hips back, press off the foot. So again, as you step, you're going into your hinge, then pressing up to stand tall. With these, make sure that you're going into that hinge by keeping your chest up, sitting your weight all into this hip, then standing tall. Lastly, we have TRX chest press, and with the chest press, again, we want to start with the hands in front of our chest. Shoulders are down. We're going to let our weight fall forward. Elbows make an arrow. From here, I'm pressing away just through the upper body. Again, I want to feel the top of my chest doing the work. For conditioning, we're doing an EMOM. We're doing split stance slams. 15 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest on each side. So I'm going to get into my split stance position. Now that back foot, you can be on the ball of your foot, and if we're still unstable there, get a little bit closer so then the heel is down. So for the sake of demonstration, I'm going to go on the ball of my foot from this position. 15 seconds of slams, making sure I'm going towards the front of this area from my foot. So when I think of where I'm slamming the ball, it's just where my other foot would be if I was in a standing position. So 15 seconds work, 15 seconds rest, switch sides, 15 seconds of work, 15 seconds of rest.